How do you know when you've gotten under Donald Trump's skin? How do you know when you have absolutely humiliated Trump on a national stage? Because he rage posts way into the night when you do. Yesterday, the Episcopal Bishop of Washington, D.C., Marianne Budde, absolutely schooled Donald Trump on what Christianity, the Christianity that he professes to love, is all about. But she didn't just school Donald Trump, she schooled Democrats on how to stand up to power. And the lesson kept Baron von Schietzenpantz up all night, rage posting. I'm going to show Trump's post in just a minute, but first, let's look at the humiliated Trump's first reaction.
What did you think of
What did you think of the service?
What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you,
very
press.
much.
Yep, that's the guy who hawks Bibles with the U.S. Constitution stuffed inside them, and he's caught completely with his pants down. He actually can't even answer the question. He's absolutely stuck, and so does the clever little rhetorical maneuver of asking the questioner to answer the question. And how about the press liaison ushering everybody out in a hurry? So what was it about the sermon that made him so upset? Well, more than a couple things. Watch.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
Yep, that there is the official head of the Episcopal Church of Washington, D.C., in her cathedral, literally in her house, telling Trump to be a Christian, to act with mercy. Yeah, that fell on deaf ears. She pled with him to treat people in the LGBTQ community and immigrants with mercy, which, by any measure, is the fundamental tenet of Christianity. Not judgment, not revenge, but mercy. So Trumpy Dumpy definitely had tummy problems in his bedroom in the White House last night, and in between trips to the low flush toilet with the golden seat, he rage posted this. The so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left, hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal immigrants that came into our country and killed people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It is a giant crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She is not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. Okay, let's just ignore the string of lies that Trump put together there, and let's just ignore, for the moment, this lingering Trump misunderstanding of asylum and mental institutions. And let's just look at that last line again, because that is how little Trump understands Christianity. Bishop Budde was bearing witness. For her or her church to apologize would be the equivalent of betraying her faith. It ain't gonna happen. If anything, Pope Francis is probably gonna weigh in and back her up. And then you've got all these Christian nationalists and Republicans screaming, separation of church and state. Yeah, it's her house, people. It is the very ground upon which the church stands. And it's funny, these same Christians never make that complaint when it comes to making laws about abortion. And it's equally funny that they restore separation of faith and government when it comes to the death penalty. It's almost as if the right wing are cafeteria Christians, right, JD? But as I said earlier, Bishop Budde served a wake-up call to Democrats as well. It's time to stop ignoring the Christian left and instead elevate their voices. The Christian left is our best chance to bridge the gap between right and left and go after the billionaire oligarchy that is manufacturing all this unrighteous rage. As Budde demonstrates, the Christian left possesses a common language that cannot easily be dismissed and must be taken seriously. And unlike Chuck Schumer, who still doesn't understand how his passion for decorum legitimizes an illegitimate president, the Christian left knows how to compellingly confront and delegitimize power. The Christian left invented non-participation, non-acquiescence, and non-violent confrontation. Bishop Budde just modeled not only how to take down Trump and the phonies and panderers, but how to build a coalition that can restore democracy. Democrats would be fools to ignore it. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.